Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going on a journey to rural India to uncover a literary project that is just so remarkable, so unique, it might just be the only one of its kind in the entire world.
To really get this story, we have to start with something simple, something powerful, the act of writing by hand. There's this intimate, almost magical connection that happens when a pen actually meets the paper.
I mean, you can feel that, can't you? It's like a direct line from the creator's mind right into the reader's heart. In our super digital world, we've kind of lost that sense of touch, but that very connection, that's right at the core of what we're exploring today. Just imagine the dedication, the sheer perseverance that would take. This one question takes us way beyond personal diaries or an author's first draft and into something else entirely. And it leads us right to this fascinating publication from the heart of India. Okay, so let's dive right in. The publication is called Subah, and believe me, it is an incredible testament to creativity, to family, and to a real passion for literature. Right. So Subah, which means morning, wasn't just a one-and-done manuscript. No, this was an ongoing, curated, monthly literary magazine. Every article, every story, every single poem was painstakingly written out by hand for each new edition. And here's what's so amazing. Subah was so much more than a magazine. It was a family mission, a project that spanned generations. The editorials themselves often talked about the challenges and, the spiritual value of their work. It was basically a socio-cultural movement captured on paper. To really wrap our heads around how unique this is, we need a little perspective. So let's see how Subah stacks up against some of the most famous handwritten works in all of history. So on this list, you've got original novels from giants like Jane Austen and Charles Dickens, a world-changing scientific work from Copernicus, and even the totally undeciphered Voynich manuscript. All of them are priceless, for sure, but notice, they're all single standalone works. Subah is already starting to look pretty different, isn't it? And that comparison right there leads us to a really crucial point. Because once you put it side by side with these other masterpieces, the true, profound uniqueness of Subah becomes crystal clear. And boom, here the difference is just stark. Other handwritten works, they're usually novels, diaries, one-time manuscripts. But Subah was a periodical, an ongoing series created for cultural conversation. This wasn't just a different degree of effort. It was a completely different kind of creation. So what does this all mean? It means that based on every available global record, Subah stands completely alone. It's in a category of one. In the entire history of literature, this project is utterly singular. So who was the visionary behind a project like this? Let's take a closer look at the incredible mind of its founder, Anilchandra Thakur. Back in the early 90s, way before the internet, before blogs, before Substack, Thakur was basically pioneering a form of intimate, independent media. For him, choosing to handwrite wasn't a limitation. It was a powerful, creative, and cultural statement about the value of real authenticity and human effort. This quote, this really gets to the heart of his entire philosophy. The value wasn't about getting famous or mass-producing something. It was all about the shared commitment of his family and the integrity of the work itself. So the key takeaway here is that Subah was also an act of quiet resistance. In a world of mass-produced media, it was a stand for the personal touch, a kind of creative Satyagraha, or truth force. And by publishing in regional languages, he was actively working to preserve cultural identity in the face of growing media globalization. He knew that some people might not get it, but he also understood that the medium, the very act of handwriting an entire magazine, carried this profound message about dignity, about labor, and about commitment to the arts. So what does all this mean for us today? Well, that brings us to the lasting impact and the really deep cultural significance of this incredible project. Its legacy is this powerful reminder that true value isn't always measured in sales figures or online clicks. Sometimes the most important heritage is built quietly through authenticity, dedication, and an unbroken tradition of just heartfelt persistence. And as we wrap up this explainer, this is the thought I really want to leave you with. In our age of AI-generated content and digital algorithms, what can a story like Subah, A story of ink, paper, and family teach us about what it really means to create and to connect with each other. Thanks so much for joining us.